Um, we will not have a quorum this evening, I want everyone to know, so, we will have to discharge it, from the committee with no action. So that's nothing for you guys to worry about. I just want to let you know that. I'm gonna read the notice. Board of Alders notice, New Haven, Aldermanic Affairs Committee of the New Haven Board of Alders will meet in person on Thursday, May 8, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the Board of Alders chamber located at 165 Church Street, second floor, New Haven, Connecticut, to hear and act on the following items. LM 2025-0175, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Jara Shati Shakovier to the Environmental Advisory Council. Number 2, LM 2025-0189, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Mary Woolsey to the Environmental Advisory Council as an alternate member. Number 3, LM 2025-0186, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Matthew Watson to the Board of Ethics. Number 4, LM 2025-0174, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Kimberly Pedrick to the New Haven Parking Authority. Number 5, LM 2025-0171, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Paul Bloom to the Peace Commission. Number 6, LM 2025-0203, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Stephen Virgilis Nagaria to the Youth Commission. Number 7, LM 2025-0218, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Rebecca Corbett to the Affordable Housing Commission. Item 8, LM 2025-0214, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Elias Estabrook to the Affordable Housing Committee. I'm sorry, Housing Commitment to the Peace Commission. I think that's incorrect. I'll make a note of that for the record. 9, LM 2025-0215, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Jimmy McFields Myers to the Affordable Housing Commission. Number 10, LM 2025-0173, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Joshua James to the Board of Assessment Appeals. Number 11, LM 2025-0172, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Alicia Crutchfield to the Cultural Affairs Commission. Per order, Honorable Rosa Ferraro Santana, Chair, attest Honorable Michael Smart, City Town Clerk. These items are on file and available in the Office of Legislative Services, City Hall, 165 Church Street, second floor, New Haven, Connecticut, 06510. For accessibility related accommodations, please call 203-946-7651, voice, or 203-946-8582 TTY/TDD. Public comment testimony may also be submitted via email to publictestimony@newhavenct.gov before 2 p.m. on the day of the meeting. The meeting will be viewed in the New Haven Board of Alders YouTube page. And before I acknowledge my colleague who's sitting up to my right, I will ask that you turn your phones on vibrate so there's no disruptions of phone calls. I would appreciate that. Yeah, you can turn silent. My colleague to my right will introduce himself.
Gary Hogan, Ward 28.
Rosa Ferraro Santana, Chair. And so we will start with Chiara Chakoti, and I'm sorry if I'm spelling your name incorrectly. Come on up. Hi, Chiara. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Chiara Chovera, and I live at 330 Alden Avenue, New Haven.
New Haven. And tell me why you want to sit on the Environmental Advisory Council.
I'm a finance and accounting professional, and I've worked for many nonprofits that work in this space abroad. And now I'm currently working in one that is working domestically, but on the West Coast. And I'd like to be more involved with the environment in the place where I live.
Okay. Have you attended any meetings, Chair?
I have not.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
I do. I see you applied for 5 boards. Can you tell me why?
I selected them based off the level of interest, and I applied for them because I didn't know which ones would be more likely and needed my particular background more. And that's why I applied to 5 to see which one needed me most.
Thank you. Chair, I want to ask, you were before us before last month, I believe, and the month before, I can't remember now. And it had to be resubmitted. Could you tell me why you couldn't make it the first time?
My sister had a child and I had to go down. She lives in Tennessee, so I had to go down to.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any other questions at this time. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Your resume explains it all.
Yeah. Mary Woolsey?
Good evening.
We won't take public testimony until after.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
You know, I
Yeah. State your name and address for the record.
Mary Woolsey. I'm at 4 St. Roman Terrace in New Haven.
Thank you. Mary, you're applying for the Environmental Advisory Council as well.
Yeah.
And you were also before us before.
No.
Is this the first time?
Yes.
Is that correct, Misty? Okay. I'm mistaken. I apologize. Why are you interested in the Environmental Council?
Well, I've been attending meetings for the past 4 or 5 years,
Mhm.
and I'm very concerned about environmental issues in New Haven. I've been involved in trying to improve air quality by regulating gas-powered lawn equipment, and beyond that, I've been interested in environmental issues for a long time. I have a law degree and also a degree in environmental policy, and I work for nonprofits on environmental issues. And I think the Environmental Advisory Council performs an important role in the city of New Haven in terms of, hearing testimony and learning more about various issues that affect our city, and writing letters as did, and interacting with important figures that affect our environment.
What other, do you sit on any other committees that work on that?
City committees?
No, like group committees, like in your neighborhood or things like that for environmental issues?
I am part of a sort of an informational committee with Save the Sound. It's not a governing board or anything like that, but it's called the Climate Task Force, I think. And I'm also part of a statewide leaf blower, the gas-powered leaf blower sort of ad hoc group trying to get some legislation passed at the state level.
Okay.
And I've submitted testimony as a private citizen on various environmental issues before the General Assembly.
Thank you. Any questions?
Oh, absolutely. I'm still a gas power landscaping person. Lawnmower, blower,
Yeah.
weed whacker, and chainsaw.
Yep.
What would you tell me to what would you say to me to convince me to move to electric?
Well, I think it's the electric equipment has gotten a lot better. Some of the various ones you mentioned are more, affordable, like a lawnmower can be quite a big expense, but the leaf blower, not so much. And it's better for your health. You're not breathing in the stuff that comes out of the tailpipe, and it's also better noise-wise, better for your hearing, and easier on your neighbors because these things can be pretty loud. So I think the economics of it has shifted so there's actually more, when your current equipment, reaches its useful, end of its useful lifespan, that it's actually cost effective for you to switch over.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Matthew Woods?
Watson.
I'm sorry, Matthew Watson. I don't know what I was thinking. I was looking up and I saw Wood and I thought it was Wood. I don't know.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You want, state your name and address for the records.
Matthew Watson, 110 Bellevue Road, New Haven, Connecticut.
Board of Ethics. Why do you want to sit on that? I mean, that's a question I ask anyone who wants to sit on the Board of Ethics.
Right.
It's such a challenging commission to
Well,
sit on.
to say it in a few words, I like challenge, but broadly, I'm in a couple of fields that deal with ethics at the forefront. Before I moved here, I was in the military, and I was in military intelligence, and I had a top secret clearance with SEI, which is a specific extra part of a top secret clearance. So obviously had to deal with high stakes, high ethical concerns during that. And it was a system that really had to regulate itself. And I think that that self-regulation, especially to outside people, is incredibly important to maintain the integrity of an institution. And so to apply that to a city, I think that having competent members on a board of ethics that is actually able to meet helps with that image for the city government perception to its constituents.
Absolutely. Do you currently sit on any, nonprofit in ethics or anything like that?
Not in any kind of governing capacity, but I am on various nonprofits. I would say they don't explicitly deal with ethics as its main, component, but I can say that I am currently a legal intern with the Federal Defender's Office here downtown, and so that is another area that requires deep ethical understanding and maintaining that standard. So I think I bring that to the board.
Have you attended any meetings?
I have watched the meetings that are online on the website. I know that the board has had issues meeting. I don't think they have met at all since I've been in New Haven, to be quite honest. So, but I have watched them.
Any questions?
As much as I would love to voir dire Mr. Watson, he is a neighbor.
Okay.
And I understand his passion and his values. So I have no questions at this time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rick.
Thank you. Yes, you can. Actually, you can give it to my staff person. Kimberly Pedrick. Hi. State your name and address for the record, please.
Kimberly Pedrick, 962 Chapel Street, New Haven.
And you're being appointed or being asked to New Haven Parking Authority. Why your interest in the parking authority?
I own two businesses on Chapel Street, two small businesses, Idiom, which I've owned 20 years, and Dwell, which I've owned 8 years, and I also live half a block away. So New Haven is so important to me, and I feel like parking structures that we have are definitely a vital part for residents and our visitors. So trying to give back and lending my knowledge of knowing New Haven and being part of it that way to making those experiences as positive as they can be when people do come into our city, or, as I said, for people just living here.
Thank you. Any questions?
So if I heard you correctly, thank you, Madam Chair. If I heard you correctly, you're using your experience of businesses in New Haven to bring to the parking authority to share a different view other than folks that may not live in the area where the parking authority exists.
Absolutely. I think it's important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Have you attended any meetings?
Oh, sorry. No, I have not.
And do you know when they meet?
I do. Mondays at 5:30, and it's the fourth Monday.
And will that be a problem for you?
It will not be a conflict or anything like that. Yep.
Thank
Scheduled.
you.
Thank
I
you.
do have one more
Oh,
question,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Madam
Yeah,
Chair.
go ahead.
Do your patrons for your businesses park in the parking authority lots?
They do. Yes.
So you want their experience to be a good model? for
Good.
it.
Yes, a voice to be heard, and I can lend that feedback that I hear from them to try to help make it positive for all.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Bloom, is he here? Come on up. Try and make this as painless as possible.
I don't think it'll be much pain here, but nice to see both of you.
Did you name an address for the record?
Paul Bloom, 45 Moreland Road, New Haven, Connecticut.
And you're being appointed to the Peace Commission.
And that's what I understand.
Okay. What is your experience and what do you know about the Peace Commission?
My background is I was trained as an architect and a designer, and 2 years ago when I realized that, and I know people on the commission realized the commission was working on a community expansion of the Peace Park on L.A.T. Grasso Boulevard. I volunteered to be the lead person to help the community be engaged with that design. And so I did that for a while, and then I'm still involved in that process. But then at some point, I was just generally interested in the Peace Commission. I've been a peace and justice worker all my life. And so I sat down in a bunch of meetings and worked with them on some projects. And that's my background with it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Any questions?
As much as I would love to go out there, Mr. Bloom, he is a neighbor and I understand his values and his passion. We talk regularly.
Okay, wonderful.
Good.
Thank you.
Great to be here. Thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Oh, who is this for too?
Staff for
Yeah,
them.
of course.
Steve Gillis, Nogaria. I'm sorry if I misspelled your name. Hi. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Steven Urgiles Noguera. I live at 185 Foreign Avenue, New Haven.
Okay, and you're being appointed to the Youth Commission, not as a youth, correct?
Sorry?
You're not as a youth to the commission, as a regular member?
Yeah.
Okay. And our Youth Commission is very important to the city. So what is your background and what will you bring to the table?
Well, I bring leadership experience, empathy, dedication to service. When I was president of my university, I helped students to get scholarship, internships, talk to professors when they had some problems. I organize leadership events, women empowerment programs, social campaigns. So I enjoy listening and create solutions.
Thank you. Do you know that the youth department also interacts with our youth department here at the city, correct?
Yeah.
The youth commission interacts with them. You kind of go hand in hand. Not that you take direction from them. You make the rules and they should abide by them. Okay. Because in the past, it's been the other way around. The youth commission dictates what the commission should do, and that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
I just wanted to note that for you. Any questions?
I have one. Just to familiarize myself with you, could you just tell me a little about some of the programs that you've done with youth? Your write-up says you've always served in the community, and at the time you served as president at the university, but can you just describe some of the programs that you worked on?
What I did?
Yeah.
Well, as I told before, I organized empowerment programs, empowerment women programs, leadership events. I helped the students to get a scholarship when they had a difficult time. I had to get a daycare scholarship when for their child. So I always try to help them and listen their needs.
Thank you. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. We have Rebecca Corbett, Elias Estabrook, and Jenny McFeel Myers, and Joshua James, do not have to be here. Is Alyssa Crutchfield here? Alicia Crutchfield, she is not here. Did she say she wasn't coming?
We were expecting her.
Okay. Alicia Crutchfield, okay, she is not here. All right. So those four that I mentioned, their attendance is 100%, so they're not required to attend their reappointments. What happens is if you're appointed, then when it comes for reappointment time, we go on your attendance. And to see if you have a low attendance, if there's a problem, then we ask you to come in and see us before we reappoint you. It makes no sense for you to sit on a commission that you have bad attendance and not understand the reason why. So that's why they didn't have to attend, they had 100% attendance. So, seeing none, is there anyone here that would like to testify on any of these individuals this evening? Come on up.
Hi, Laura Kahn, 54 Cleveland Road. I chair the Environmental Advisory Council. Sorry, allergies. I'm coming before you this evening because my term, I'm about to term, I already have, in fact, and I want to make sure the Environmental Advisory Council is left in good hands. As you might know, we started our work about 10 years ago, and nearly 10 years ago, and so those of us who started at the beginning, like Kathy Fay and me, are terming out. So Kathy is going to term out in October because she was on a different staggered term than I was. And I believe that we need people to leave the Environmental Advisory Council with who can lead it and who come to meetings, who know when the meetings are. And I'm worried that when you appoint people and confirm people who don't know when our meetings are and don't come, we have no guarantee of continuity. And we work on issues that are so important to everybody's health and to the environment and to the sustainability and the continuity of our planet. And I can't sleep for worrying about these things. And I want to make sure that all of us in New Haven have a better, cleaner, greener life. And this is how I've been doing it for 10 years. And I will be pretty devastated if the people who are left in charge are not capable of carrying on. And how will they be capable if they've never come to meetings before and they don't even know what we do and they haven't testified before CSEP or before the Connecticut General Assembly committees or, and they haven't written testimony. I can't begin to tell you how much of our time goes into learning about very obscure issues like the salt piles in downtown New Haven that we spent a long time on last night, or about the ultrafine particulate matter released by airplanes when they take off and land that we learned about last February. And there are just many things like this, PFAS and artificial turf and pesticides, and I could go on for an hour. Light pollution and noise pollution and just many things that can make our lives very much worse or very much better. And I think it really helps to have the most qualified people on our council, especially as regular members, because we're going to have elections within a month or whenever. And I personally invite all the applicants I find out about to come to our meetings, and the ones who have already been coming are the ones, before I contact them, are the ones who tend to show up. And anyway, I know you got my letter about Mary Woolsey, and she's incredibly qualified and willing to take a leadership role, and I hope you will consider juggling things so that we can have continued leadership, and I thank you very much. Is there any questions?
I do. Have you made other recommendations for
So-
membership?
This is what happens. I ask many, many people if they will help, and a lot of them are not in the stage of life at which they can devote enough time, because our council is not one that just involves once a month meetings 8 times a year. You have to learn, you have to read incredibly complicated documents. There's a 3,000-page application by Tweed Airport to DEEP, and we all have to parse that application to figure out how to convince DEEP that they should not be giving Tweed permission to expand. And we go through things like this all the time. There are documents, I just can't begin to tell you. Documents, we go to meetings, to other meetings. I belong to 4 statewide coalitions that are dealing with various issues, and all of us go to meetings and belong to coalitions and serve on state committees, and this is not a light, load. It requires a lot of effort, and the people who are willing to and able to put this effort in are mostly people who are empty nesters or, are retired. So what happens is I often ask people who are at stages of life where they are working and they have children and they're just settling down and they don't have time to do this, alas. So it's not that I don't try to find people, I do, it's just very hard. And then the young people who come to serve on our council often move away because they can't afford it or because their careers or their lives take them elsewhere. And I have no control over that, unfortunately. But it's not that I'm not trying. I'm really, really, really trying to nurture more leaders. So, yeah.
Thank you for all your efforts.
You're welcome.
Laura, you and I go back a long time, so
We
I
do.
know the quality of your work, and I know that you work very hard on the committee. All of your members do. And you do know that it's only a 1 year off. You can come back at any time.
Yes, so if you had something you've been working on for 10 years, and you were told you have to step off for a year, but then you can come back and you have to keep doing all the grunt work for the year, because I do all the grunt work to keep the agenda, send out the meeting notices, invite the guests to come and teach us about things, make sure the city person sets up the logistics. It's a ton of work, and I may go on to do other things in that year. I haven't decided, but
But you can always be a non-voting member.
yes,
You know that,
yes,
right?
yes. We always have between 10 and 100 people at our meetings, depending upon what we're discussing. So I do realize that. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for all your hard work.
Thank you. And thank you for your hard work. I really appreciate it. And I would love to talk to you about leaf blowers and lawn equipment anytime. And there's going to be an electric powered lawn equipment demo day at the state capitol, the legislative office building, May 22nd from 10:30 to 2. You are invited. And there's some guy from Tennessee who heads a company called Whisper Aero. He's made quiet airplane technology and he's applied that to leaf blowers. It will be available for purchase soon, and he's gonna come and show it to us.
You would have not liked to have been in my ward the last 2 days, as every landscaper and neighbor, because the sun came out after all the rain, was out. So you heard from this morning, and I'm guilty too. But,
Okay, well, you should just
I'd love to
know.
follow up with you this time. So
Okay, I would like to do that too. Thank you very much.
not a problem.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye-bye.
And is there anyone else from the public that would like to testify in any of these appointees? Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to testify for any of these appointees for a third time? Anyone in the audience that would like to testify on the appointment of these appointees? Seeing none, I close the public portion. And would you make a motion to close the public
Make a
portion?
motion
To close the
to
public.
close the public, make a motion to close the public session.
See, there's no discussion. Say yes?
Yes.
Yes, the two of us will say aye.
Aye.
No opposed, any abstentions, the motion carries. Seeing that we do not have a voting, we don't have our committee here. We needed 4 members to be able to make a decision this evening. So what, I will make a recommendation that we move Mary to a permanent member and Chiara to an alternate member. And that the 5 appointees who are 1, 2, 3, 4, that they be a motion to approve because that is my suggestion. And the one that did not show, we'll give them a week to withdraw. That's my recommendation. Any objections?
No objection.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed, any abstentions, the motion carries. You will find out at our next board meeting, because it will be, our next board meeting, we met this week, so it won't be for 2 weeks. We meet on a Monday. So, after the meeting, our staff person, Misty, will let you know if you were approved or not, and how that would, and when you can start attending the meetings. Okay? She'll chat with you, I'm sure, and let you know all the details, or Alex, either one. You all know Alex. He submits all the applications. So I don't want you to leave here thinking that, normally we do have quorum, but unfortunately, things came up this evening that 3 people were not able to show. So, I apologize. And, I wish you all a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?